Strength Warehouse presents Go Heavy or Go Home podcast. I am your host, Nate Boley. In this podcast, we talk about strength, fitness, nutrition, and all things Strength Warehouse related. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. Today we have one of our members, long-term member, Jesse Wallace here, and he just finished a Spartan race, and we're going to talk a little bit about his experience with that. So I'm going to hand over the mic to him so he can introduce himself. So what's up, Jesse? Welcome to the podcast.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me. I've been coming here a minute, and I'm honored to finally be on the podcast.
Awesome, man. Yeah, well, welcome. You've been coming for a while now, about a couple of years, 3 years?
Yeah, two and a half, 3 years now. So I don't even know, but yeah, it's been a minute.
And you just hit 400 classes.
It's crazy.
Dude, congrats. That's so awesome.
Yeah, crazy.
All right, man. So what's been going good? Like, tell me what's been going good with Strength Warehouse, the membership here. Like, what have you accomplished here?
Oh man, just watching my gains. They started off, kind of slow. I want to say, it started off high. I started off good. I started off feeling real good.
Your first day, let's just talk about your first day, your first class you came in.
First class was kind of iffy. It was, I forget even which class it was, just a strength class. But
yeah.
Came in and was feeling good, kind of, nervous.
Sure.
Trying to get my feet in the door here and all the new people and didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea.
You had worked out at other gyms and stuff like that, but you weren't really doing what we were doing.
But it's just a little bit on my own, here and there. Come in to the gym, do a couple lifts, try some machines, and then go home. But nothing like actually being part of a strength gym.
Yeah.
So coming here, first day was like you're teaching me technique and what I'm doing wrong and how to feel better and how to lift better.
Yeah.
But second class, that was
when we found out what you're all about, huh?
So first class was like kind of getting my foot in the door. Second class was when it was a strongman class.
Yeah, we were doing sled pulls, right?
Yes. Yeah, sled pulls, pulling heavy weight with rope. And
so the setup for you listeners basically is we got a big tire. We set in one side of the road, I should say, or down the alleyway, and then we set up like a 50-foot rope. And we hook it to a sled, like a prowler sled, and we just load it up with weight, and we see how each rep we put more and more weight on it. And I don't remember the weight you got to, but it was astronomical for like a first day.
Crazy for a first.
Yeah, it was like
the tire. So the tire is just for sitting your butt.
Yeah, exactly.
You just sit on that tire. You sit your butt on that tire, and then you pull the weight.
Yeah.
And I want to say, I don't know, first
I think it was like 900 pounds.
It was close to 900.
Yeah. And Ian and I, which were the strongman coaches at the time, we were like looking at each other like, that's our PR. Like, what the heck is going on?
That's what got me. I was like, all right, I'm in. I'm locked in.
Yeah, that was a fun class. Yeah, we used to do a lot of strongman stuff. I think it'll probably make a little bit of a comeback here and there. It's definitely not one of those things. We got rid of it really because people were doing both the powerlifting and the strongman. They're ending up just beating themselves up, beating themselves to a pulp. And so it was getting quick. Yeah, I don't think any like major injuries. They're just like, I'm just smoked. I'm just so beat up. There was, there's always injuries and stuff like that happen when you're doing strength type sports and stuff, but nothing serious that I can remember.
Almost kind of like doing max day, but every week.
Yeah, exactly. Every week, every class, twice a week, right? But yeah, so did you have any doubts? I said you had some doubts when you first came in, and
just nervous, just being somewhere new, and just like just if you've been to a gym, but you've never been to like actual part of like a class gym.
Just a different type of gym. Yeah.
Teach you what's right, what's wrong, what you need to do, and just the infrastructure.
Yeah. The second class, you were like, I'm in. This is it.
Oh, yeah. Like, all right, I'm hooked. Yeah. And then I've just been sticking with it since and kind of coming here, here and there, a couple days a week. And then it just stuck and my schedule kind of changed around. I made it change around. It's like, well, now I'm going to come most of the week. I've just been coming most of the week since.
Yeah.
And it took a minute, I was always seeing progress for sure.
Yeah, you're seeing more weights on the bar.
Always seeing more weights, feeling better, looking better day to day, even from the get-go, honestly. A month in, you're going to be feeling better. Just about everything. More energy, just more, honestly, up to do anything. Yeah. But this last probably 6 months or so, and again, I'm 2.5 years in, so for all your long-timers, stick with it because
keep going.
keep going, because I see a lot of people that have been here a while, and I can almost, I mean, I don't know, but I almost tell us like they're like, why am I not getting the results?
Yeah.
And it's like mine started happening like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Where I physically am like
Started to see the notice
building,
change.
like all of a sudden it's like, whoa. It's like holy crap. But that's 2.5 years in.
Sure.
So you just stick with it, keep going. But now I'm starting to finally see that.
Yeah, I try to say like it's always like, fitness is not a destination; it's a journey.
No,
and just it's not like hey, once I get to this destination, I can quit fitness forever or strength forever. It's just gonna go. You're gonna go back to where you were. Like, you just have to keep going. But and you found your brother was coming here first, correct?
Yeah. So my brother was coming here. He was coming here. He's actually helping me out at my work for a little while. He was helping me out, and he knew I was going through kind of a bad spot. Just we all go through bad things in our life, downturns, whatever. But where I was in a really bad slump.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I've been going to this gym. It's right up the street. It's nice and close. He's like, you should check it out. I was like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. I'm busy, And then
Everybody's busy.
Everyone's busy, And I own a business. I'm constantly working. I mean, I'm busy.
Yeah.
But everyone is busy. You can always make time for what you want.
Absolutely. You can always make time for what you want.
So finally, he was like, you gotta try it out. Yeah. So I finally gave it a shot. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. So I tried it out. And man, just been sucked in since.
Yeah. Super bummer. I know your brother had to leave because he moved away, and his job was basically take him to the other side of freaking the area, right? And so it was just like logistically impossible for him to really make
he'd
the
still
time.
be here in a heartbeat if he lived in Central Oregon.
I know.
Like, no matter what, even if his time schedule was off, he'd still make time for one class.
No matter what. I know he would. I talked to him the other day, about a month ago. He's like, man, I really want to come back there. I just can't make it work. I'm like, I get it.
He's just too far. He'd have to get off work and then drive all the way,
right,
and then come back.
Yeah, it's a busy, and it's with all the traffic and everything. Yeah. How has strength training and getting coaching really helped in your day-to-day life? I know you're a mechanic, and so you have to use your body, your mind, and your body. Yeah. So how's that really what kind of things have you noticed?
Yeah, so of course it makes things easier for sure, 100%. As far as lifting, I'm constantly bending down, moving around. I mean, I sit down 45 minutes a day, and that's 5-minute increments. I mean, I am on my feet all day long.
Yep, I remember. I was a mechanic for a lot of years.
You did it. The only time we sit down is to make out a bill, and then you get back up and keep working.
And you're going right back to work.
Exactly.
The bolts aren't turning. You're not making any money.
Exactly. You gotta be up and working, moving. So I mean, it's definitely helped an aspect, but honestly, more than anything, I think it's helped in more of a mental clarity.
Okay, cool, man. I like that.
I mean, physical, like we talked about before. Yes, I can lift this tire easier.
Yeah.
Yes, I can move this heavy part easier. It's not as much strain as it used to
totally.
be. But if you're mentally strained, it don't matter how much you can lift or not. You're still gonna have issues.
Sure.
Throughout the day.
So when you say mental clarity, are you talking about in the day to day, or when you're working out? Can you go into a little bit more of that?
Yeah. So I just think it helps. So everyone goes through stress in different ways. Mm-hmm. Everyone has problems, issues. Everyone has something going on, but you need something to relieve that.
Yeah.
A good relief.
Yes.
Not a bad relief, which we fall into.
Yes, we do.
But what we got to do, what I've learned, is you got to change that into a good relief. So you only do that for a good relief.
Yeah.
The bad reliefs, I mean, something like when we're lifting weights or even just exercising, or, it gives you something to do, being part of something. All those fall into that same, stress relief.
Do you think it's because you're really present here during a class and you kind of let everything go away for a little bit?
Exactly. Just being, and just knowing that you're a part of something.
Yeah.
You're a part of something bigger than you, whether it be, yes, I'm working out. Yes, I'm aiming for a goal, but I'm also doing something. I'm accomplishing something.
That's great.
At the end of the day, it might take 10 years. It might take 5 years. It might take 6 months. But you're doing something, working towards a goal.
Cool. I really like that, man. Thanks for sharing that. You just recently finished a Spartan race. Let's talk about that, man.
Yeah.
How did that go? Where was it? What'd you do?
Yeah. So I've been doing Spartans for a minute. Same thing. My brother kind of instigated it. He didn't even know about it. He had no part to do with it.
Really?
So he was in the military.
Yeah.
And me and my uncle, we did a mud run, one of these fun, obstacle mud runs.
And where was that at?
Outside of Salem, something like that. Yeah. And I've done a couple here, the Warrior Dash, things like that.
Cool.
just fun like obstacle runs.
Yeah.
And then we talked about, I was like, man, we should do a Spartan. I was like, have you ever heard of Spartan? He's like, yeah, we should do what they do. And I was like, okay, well, Cody's out, next year. Let's get him in.
Yeah.
Let's get him in. Let's all do a Spartan together. So the following year, we set it all up. We did a Spartan race, just a small like 5K sprint.
Yeah.
Which again, when we talk about 5K, it's like, yeah, it's a 5K.
Yeah.
But you're also doing 30 obstacles, like strongman strength obstacles.
What kind of obstacles are there in there?
And they switch them up. All of them aren't like hardcore strength stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one you throw a spear into a target.
That's cool.
But
like
if you only get one shot.
Yeah.
And if you miss,
you lose points.
30 burpees.
Oh, 30 burpees?
Yeah.
Whoa, so you're like, I'm ready to not miss.
Every single obstacle, if you fail, if you don't make it, 30 burpees.
Man, that totally takes it out of the tank right there. I'm out. I can't do a Spartan ever.
And then you gotta run to the next obstacle, So I mean, but there is a lot of strongman stuff too, like Atlas stones. Like you pick up this heavy stone, you walk it to point A, and then walk it back to where you started.
Okay.
Things like that. There's a lot of farmer carry
yeah.
stuff. The last one we did was really cool. I've never done before because they're always switching it up a little bit.
Okay.
Last one we did, you did farmer carry, so you lift up these heavy weights. We had to walk across the river and then walk back.
Like through the river?
Through the river.
Wow, that's cool.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's pushing you sideways and it's holding you down.
You still got to hold your weight.
Yeah.
So they're always kind of switching it up a little bit. A lot of strongman stuff built into it, but then there's also other activities built into it too.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, they're always switching it up. It's just a fun time and more of just a mental got to get through this thing.
Yeah, that's cool. So you did your first one with your uncle and your brother, and you guys did really well, and then you decided to do another one. How many have you done now?
Oh, man, I think I'm up to 4.
Okay.
But we got a big one coming up.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, so me and my brother, we did this one last year. We did it, and it was the big one. It was like, okay, they have a 21K beast.
That's the one you guys just did?
That's what we did. It was a 21K, and I forget how many obstacles, I think it was like 40 obstacles. But you do this 21K, and then we're like, okay, we do this big one. And then we're good. We don't have to do it again, right?
You're just done forever.
Yeah. We can do the small ones again for fun. We want to travel and go do the small ones. Absolutely, no problem. But let's do this big one.
Yeah.
So we do this big one, and then we finally finish it. Again, 21K, we're not runners.
What's 21K? Is that 3 miles? Or
21K, no, 5K is about 3 miles.
5K is 3 miles? So 21K is going to be like, dude, that's like a marathon.
It's like, I think it's
I'm going to do this.
Half marathon, I think. It's too much. But we did this, so we finally got it done. And again, it took us forever because we're not runners. We don't do cardio. But we got it done.
It's 13
miles.
So it's a half marathon.
So half marathon.
Yeah.
So we got it done. It was like, we do this big one. We don't have to do this big stuff anymore.
Yeah.
We finish. We get to the finish line. We go through, we get our medals. And this girl passes us. And then she goes to like a different podium.
Yeah.
And they give her a different medal. It's just this huge medal. And we look at each other and we look at the guy that handed us, like, what is that?
Do you guys just instantly feel deflated, like somebody just beat you?
We're just like, what is that about? What is that?
Yeah.
Because we're not in the competitive stage. We're first, second, third.
Yeah.
We're just in the rest, which is get it done.
Yeah.
You finish, and that's
you're getting the medal for finishing.
You finish, you get a medal, and you did it.
Yeah, that's great.
Made it happen. That's kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
But we finish, and then this girl passes, goes up to a different podium, huge medal. They're all taking pictures, and we're like, what is that about? So we asked the guy that's giving us the medal.
Sure.
He's like, oh, no. He's like, that's the ultra. That's the big one. Yeah. He's like, that's the marathon. You say that's, 50K, 60 plus obstacles. Wow. So we look at each other, and we're just like, all right.
You're like, don't even say it. We're not doing it.
We got one more. It's like, that's...
You thought your last one was the one, and you're like...
Yeah. And it's just like... So but honestly, when we finished, we're like, okay, we're done. We went, we got our free drink, and, hung out, and none of this ultra stuff came up until about 2 months later. I mean, we finished, but we gave each other the same look.
Yeah.
And then we finished, and we had fun the rest of the
You
night.
just knew life was not going to be not going to be finished
Exactly.
until you did the big one.
And then it was probably a month or two later. I was sitting at home on the couch, bored at night, and I just texted him out of the blue.
Yeah.
And I was like, I forget what I said exactly. It was something like, I'm gonna do it, or I'm gonna do the big one, or something like that. And then he said, I'm in. He instantly knew what I was talking about. So it was like, okay.
It was on both your minds.
So it was like, now we got to do the big one and finish, and then we'll be good.
That's great. So that's coming up.
Yes, end of August.
Okay.
End of August.
That's cool. And it's in
Hawaii.
Oh man, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, so I mean, they do them all over the nation. I mean, different races, they'll have to put different places depending on how big it is, how big they can fit in there.
Sure.
But this one, I was like, man, if we're gonna do something so big for us, let's do it somewhere cool, somewhere big.
Huge. Yeah.
Let's go all out, and make a big trip out of it.
What island is it on?
Oahu.
Oahu. Okay, I've never been to Oahu.
Me neither.
Yeah,
I go to Hawaii. I hit Hawaii. Well,
I know you go to Hawaii more.
I
than
hit Hawaii
all the
3 times, 4 times a year. I was there 2 weeks ago.
That's so cool.
But yeah,
I haven't been in 2 years. You've probably been 5 times more in that time. Well, like I said earlier, this is our second time doing this podcast. The first one got messed up, but with kiddos, man, it's so much more money. Like if I just went by myself, I could do it, but my wife would kill me. She would literally kill me if I went tomorrow by myself.
It's funny. I had the same conversation with her a little while ago. I was like, it's so nice to just leave by yourself, and she's like, I wouldn't know what that felt like. I was like, she probably wouldn't come back.
Yeah, she probably wouldn't.
Or if you went, you might not come back.
Exactly. Yeah, you never know. Cool, man. So that's great. So you guys are training for that right now.
Yeah.
And it's a 51K.
Yeah.
Do you know what 50K?
Yeah, 50K.
Okay. Do you know what obstacles are in that one?
No, so they don't really tell you.
Oh, they don't tell you.
No.
So it's a mystery.
Yeah, so you kind of know what to expect because they have, X amount of different things they do.
Yeah.
But as far as what they're going to include, you don't know.
It's really similar to strongman. So most strongman competitions, you don't really know. I mean, they just change them all the time. You don't really know what you're going to do. Yeah. Some of them, they'll if you go to smaller ones, they'll give you an idea of kind of where they are, what they're going to do. But if you do a big one, they usually don't. They just have to be, you just got to know. You just got to do everything. Yeah. Right? So it's hard to train for them. And squat, powerlifting, you know exactly what you should do. Squat, bench, deadlift. But cool, man. So that's awesome. I can't wait to see you guys do that. I know you're gonna kill it.
That'll be cool. It'll be big one. We gotta finish. What's cool about us is we won't let one or the other not finish.
Yeah. Even if the other, you gotta carry the other one out.
Yeah. We'll make it happen. It's funny as we were talking about it. So on this big one, I guess when you complete halfway, there's a bucket that you stash, you get halfway done, which is, half marathon.
Wait, you stash a bucket somewhere?
Yeah, so I guess it's not as a stash, it's so everyone that's competing in the ultra, you got your own bucket that you put out there with your whatever you want in it. Okay. And most people put, they're replenished, they'll get in there, they'll put in their electrolytes and whatever they need.
To keep going.
Because you're doing another trek, so it's a halfway, sit down, refuel, get your mojo back, and then go again.
So it's not like it's longer, it's just you do the thing twice.
Exactly.
You literally just go around the whole entire thing.
Because they only have X amount of space.
Yeah.
And then you're doing all the obstacles twice.
Yeah.
And the trek twice.
Wow.
But I was telling him, he's like, these buckets, which everyone will be, having their, electrolytes and things they need to get back in order.
Yeah.
It's like, how cool would it be? And I guarantee you we'd be the only ones. If we put a tomahawk steak, like a Coors Light,
yeah.
We bust open our bucket, and we're just sitting there with our steak
in your Bud Light.
Even if we don't want to take a bite, which we probably won't, but just for that picture opportunity.
That's so cool. Now it's one in a lifetime, dude. Once in a lifetime. That's awesome. Cool. Well, let's shift gears a little bit. Back to the strength training. So strength training has really helped with these Spartan races.
Yeah,
I'm guessing. Yeah. Mostly because you're feeling strong in a bunch of different ways, especially since you've done some of the strongman stuff. So you're pretty acclimated with like knowing how to grab an Atlas stone, pick it up,
Exactly. If we
it.
didn't have that experience from here, I would look at it and be like, what do I do?
Right. How do I do this?
You see a lot of people do that. They'll try just gripping it by hands and slip in. But from that experience here, it's like I know how to handle it. I know how to pull it up, how to operate it properly.
Do you remember back in 19 when we did that the Battle of the High Desert? Which was a similar idea, like an idea for the Spartan, but we did, it was a strongman, then we did a tactical portion, and then we did a 1 mile obstacle course.
The guns?
Yeah, it was guns.
I remember you talking about it.
Yeah,
I wasn't a part of it, but I remember you talking about
so
it.
It was called,
it's so cool.
It was. I don't really know why it didn't pick up. I mean, we could probably try it again, but man, it was the first year we got like 18 people. Yeah. The second year we had like 5. And I was like, dude, this is crazy. But we did it out at a gun range. Yeah. It had a gun, like a range master. And then so it started out with a deadlift medley. Yeah. And then it went to a keg press medley. And then you got like a few seconds to like gather your bearings. And then you went right to the gun range. Yeah. So you had a shotgun. You picked up the shotgun out of the barrel. You blasted through a door, which was super cool. So you got to kick the door open. You threw the shotgun back into the barrel, and then you walked in. You had an AR-15, and you had 3 shots, and you could shoot each target. And you got graded on how many
quickly and accuracy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Then you went over to axe throwing. You could axe throw. And you had 3 axes, and you could throw each axe onto like a piece of wood with targets. Yeah. And you got graded on if you made it or how close you made it to the bullseye. Yeah. And then you gather your bearings a little bit, and then you had a 1 mile obstacle course, which had like all sorts of strongman stuff, climbing under these dirt things we had. Yeah. We had like a little, I think it was a 15-foot wall you had to climb up or something like that. It was super cool. I really wish it would have taken off because it would have been awesome.
Man, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. I think people got really worried about the gun thing because they're like, they don't know how to shoot a gun, but the range master took everybody through one-on-one and like really, they took their time, right? So they showed them how to use a gun, and then it was not really how fast you could shoot it, but how accurately you could shoot it. So that part took a little while, but
that would be so cool.
It was. I kind of want to bring it back.
I think you're right on the money, probably with the gun thing, because like even the strongest, biggest dude, I mean, no matter where you're at, some people just aren't comfortable.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But
it is what it is. But we could bring it back and do something a little bit differently. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And you just hit a lifetime PR deadlift, right?
Yes.
What was that? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I hit 500.
500.
Finally, part of the club. Yeah. So just
400 classes, 500 deadlift.
For me, because I'm between 185 and 190. So for me, that's a
big deadlift.
That's a big stretch.
Yeah, that's a big deadlift. What was your deadlift when you first came in? It was sub 300.
I never did lift. Yeah. So every single hit was
every single deadlift was a PR.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I think I remember. I mean, you were in the under the 300s for sure. When I was coaching the class,
it was probably upper high 2s, but under 3.
Yeah. Yeah, and you quickly went up to 4. I remember that. It was pretty quick. Once you got the technique down,
went up to around 4, and then it's just not even 4, man, like 375 or so, and then it's just been stuck.
Yeah,
stuck for the longest time, and I finally started kind of.
What was the key there?
Figure out my spot. My back hurts. Everyone's back hurts, but like my back, lower back especially, lower left back is just.
When you have some scoliosis, is that what it is?
A little bit. I mean, little bit. I mean, it's not horrible, but the upper part of my back curves. So everyone thinks like, oh, whoa, don't lift. What are you doing? Like, it's like, oh, I promise I'm straight. It just don't look straight.
Yeah.
But
as straight as it goes. That's for sure. Yeah.
Lower back's just always hurt. But I mean, even my biggest thing, what I've started doing the last couple sessions of training is just even low weight. I just keep my belt.
Yeah. I do the same thing. I put my belt on 275. Yeah. I'll put my belt on. Yeah.
Every little bit, and I think that just helps me keep everything tight, everything in form. I think that just helps a lot.
Everything braced for sure. That's the biggest thing. If you don't brace your core, even if you let it go for like the half of a second, then it gives your spine room to like tweak. Yeah. So you really have to have that form locked in. Yeah. But that's awesome, man. So what's what is it? What's your sights on now? I mean, that's what powerlifting strength training is all about, right? It's the next thing, right?
Yeah, that's been my goal. 500. Once I hit 500, I'm good. I don't have to go heavier. But
You never have to lift again. You're
no,
done.
I'm good. I'm set. So now I'm shooting towards 550.
There you go.
So
Yeah, dude. Hey, you're going to be right there in the same range as me pretty soon.
after that, I'm done. All right.
No, I promise you will not be done. It's going to be 675, 700, 900, and all that type of stuff. That's awesome. And then, you have the Spartan race coming up.
Yeah.
But do you think you're going to be done with Spartan races, the big ones? Or are you going to keep doing those?
As far as this is the big one. This is the big daddy. So
Yeah.
as far as this goes, probably I'll still hit them for sure. But it'll be 5, 10, 21K for sure. But
Yeah.
as far as the 50K, I'm not a runner, man. My knees are jacked. Everything
Yeah.
on me hurts.
Yeah.
You should see when I do these races. The last one, which was just a 5K, I had both knees completely, wrapped up, and my ankle just completely. I look like a.
While you're doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because everything hurts so much,
Yeah.
I have to keep everything tight.
Yeah.
So this next one, honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna get done.
You're going
I'm
to
gonna
finish
get
it.
through it
It's
for
just,
sure.
you might have to be wheeled out on a gurney.
I hurt though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't got time to go and do the whole process of knee repair, surgery, anything like that. Just
Nobody does.
No.
Nobody does. So one thing we didn't touch on, it's not a marathon and then you do the obstacles. It's you run a certain amount of time and then you do an obstacle.
Oh yeah, it's all through it.
Gotcha.
It's all through it. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you run like a mile, maybe 2 miles, and then they're like, stop, do this obstacle.
Yeah.
And then they come back and then you continue to run.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's not a
Especially
continuously
the
thing.
bigger ones, the more bigger races. So if you do like the 5K, you'll run a mile, do an obstacle, run a half mile, do an obstacle, run a half mile, do an obstacle. These bigger ones, you'll start off with probably like a 3 mile, probably like a 5K. And then you'll hit an obstacle, and then at least a mile or two after that, hit another one.
Okay.
But yeah, so they spread it all out while you're running, doing the race.
Gotcha.
In a way, sometimes depending on the obstacle, you can be like, okay, it's kind of like a break.
It's a little break.
Especially if you're strong and it's something you're comfortable with. It's like, okay, this ain't gonna be too bad. It's kind of like a quick little
Yeah,
rest.
catch my breath, let my heart rate come back down.
So you don't mess up and have to do burpees.
Yeah, don't mess up and you have to do it. So then you're going to be in trouble. For sure, man. That's stuff. I'm going to have to, if I ever do one, I'm going to start with a small one. Have you heard of DECA, I think it is, DECA races? So they do, it's the same people, I think, that do the Spartan races, but they do like a strongman one, and they do 3 different ones, and then the medals is one big medal, and they split it into 3 pieces. So once you finish each one, you get the whole medal.
Spartan does that too.
Yeah, Spartan. Yeah, and that's why I'm pretty sure it's the same
It's
people
probably
that
the
do
same
that.
guys, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you do, they call it a trifecta. So if you do a 5K, a 10K, and a 21K, the 50K is not included. That one's all on its own.
That's all on its own.
That's all on its own. But if you do those 3, which are the main races, you get your medal, but then you get a wedge
Okay.
on the back of the medal. It's like a 3, like a triangle.
Yeah.
And then if you do the 10K, you get another wedge. And then you do the 21K. And then at the end of the year, or however long it takes you, you can put your wedges together, and now you have a second medal.
That's cool.
Trifecta.
And you have that?
I do not.
Oh.
I've never done a trifecta.
Dang it.
Maybe after this big one.
Yeah, you got to do a trifecta.
After this big one, maybe they'll be. But the trick is, too, is you have to do it all within the same year.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Which isn't hard to do as long as you're committed.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, so that's your next thing.
What's the next thing?
Yeah, that's the next thing.
550
It's always-
deadlift and
yeah.
a trifecta.
That's right. And 550 deadlift. And so you do the trifecta in the same day, and then you do a 550 deadlift the same day.
I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say yes.
There's a gym in Portland called Luprenzi's, right? My dad used to go there a long time ago when he was living in Portland. I went there, and I don't know how true this is, but the rumor is the Luprenzi brothers, there's 3 of them. They did a bodybuilding show in the morning,
Okay.
and at the end of the day, went and did a powerlifting meet. I was like, that's pretty intense,
It's like
right?
all in one shot.
All in one shot.
Yeah.
So they're good. They're lean enough and in shape enough to do a bodybuilding show.
Yeah.
And then strong enough to do a powerlifting meet at the end.
Because
of
a
the day.
lot of those guys from bodybuilders, they look ripped.
Yeah, and they're
But when it comes down to like actual
straight.
weight,
Yeah, they're not. Some of them are strong, but not all of them. Yeah,
but not as much as.
especially with the.
Look at world's strongest men. They're not ripped. But they're big dudes.
Yes, they're very strong.
But they're definitely not 6-pack rolling.
Definitely not veiny and shredded and all that type of stuff. But yeah, that's awesome, man. So yeah, that's something you got to look forward to for sure. What are some things that you would say to somebody if you just roll up on somebody and they asked you about Strength Warehouse, like what would you still like what would you how would you talk about us? What would your 30-second commercial be?
I just tell them give them a shot.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's going through something good or bad. I mean, give them a shot. It helps get that out.
Yeah.
If you're looking to get more in shape, perfect.
Cool.
You know, give them a shot. There's multiple classes. There's not just strength training. You know, you got HIIT. I call them HIIT classes.
Yeah, strength camp. It's a class.
Camp. I mean, it's so if you're looking for more of a cardio, actually get a sweat on workout, hit those. If you're looking to build muscle, the other ones. If you're looking to do both, hit them both.
Exactly. You know? Hit them both. Check them out. That's awesome.
But don't hit one or two and say, it's not really for me. I mean, give it, like we talked about before, I said a week, you said a month.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, giving it a good month where you can really kind of hit all the classes and like really kind of feel it out and that type
then
of
you
stuff.
get your kind of, you figure out how your posture is supposed to be, how to lift. Yeah. Because a lot of people lift.
And even that, like sometimes it takes a little bit longer than, you know, that to really dial in somebody's form and stuff. But
I still can't figure that out.
It's hard, man. It's hard, yeah.
But at least get the basics, and then once you start to get it down, then you kind of like, okay. So I just would tell her, just give it a shot, and don't end it. Give it some time.
Yeah, give it some time. Like you said, it took you 2.5 years to get kind of where you are now.
Show big progress.
Yeah, show big progress and that type of stuff. But you know, I think that's with every gym. Like, you know, we can. If you get somebody past like a 90-day mark, you can look. Most of the time, you can change like their trajectory of their life. If you can get them to hang out for a couple of years, like your life has completely changed from where it was before. I'm sure. Yeah. Well, cool, man. Is there any last things you want to let our listeners know that been burning deep down inside your soul?
Yeah, man. Just come check us out. Come give us a shot.
Yeah, come give it a shot.
For more than a week. And see how it does. Yeah, I mean, it takes time, but you stick with it, and it's worth it.
Yeah. And you know, there's
physically, mentally.
You've seen us grow quite a bit, and there's been a lot more, community events and stuff like that, and we do a lot of fun stuff. Yeah. I think that adds to.
Definitely, it shows you more. You're not just in this for business. You're in it for a family.
Yeah,
you care about all your clients. It's not even clients. You know, it's just family.
Yeah, we're just all family.
Anyone here? Yeah. Be a part of us.
Yeah, I agree. That's one of our main missions is just becoming like a big family.
Yeah.
It's hard when there's 150 of us. Like it's hard to have a whole 150 person family, right?
Oh man, keep it going.
Yeah. I mean, our very first member barbecue was at my house, and there was 39 people in my house.
That's a good turnout.
It wasn't a good turnout, but like our last one we had, there was like 57 or 59 or something like that people. They would not fit at our house anymore. Yeah. So that's gotten to the point where now we're like, okay, it's gotten big enough now where we can't hold them at our house anymore, which is really good. But if you had 150 people all show up, man, that'd be huge.
Yeah,
that'd be huge.
That's good.
Yeah, but we'll just keep moving the needle on that forward and go from there. But hey, man, thanks a lot for being on the podcast a lot. The second time we've been on the podcast. The first time the music was interfering with us and we just couldn't get it done. So thanks a lot for coming back again and doing this with me. But all right, guys, I'm going to leave you like I always leave you this season of the podcast. And that is, success is not final, failure is not fatal, and it is the courage to continue that counts. And everything you want in life is on the other side of your fear. So go out there and take some action. Go hit a 500-pound deadlift and go do a trifecta Spartan race.
And then do more.
And then keep on going. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Thanks for joining us on this epic journey of strength. If you liked this episode, please leave us a review and share with a friend. To stay connected, hit that subscribe button. All right, until next time, go heavy or go home.